Now let's talk about what Halloween was like back in the 1880s in Fairbury. Scarcely was the Fairbury Fair done with than Halloween beset the citizens, and most of the day following was spent hunting down their scrambled property scattered around town. Certain things were automatically expected on Halloween: tic-tacking the wandering front gate, the overturned privy or outhouse, the decayed vegetables and dead cats scattered on front porches, and the missing sections of boardwalks and fences. Occasionally there was something a little more spectacular to engage their attention, such as a farm wagon on the schoolhouse roof. It took real work for the boys to get that wagon apart, hoist it piece by piece, and reassemble it up there against the stars. And it needed much work later and at a price to get it all down again. To the maddened owner, it was anything but a joke. And the advice from the newspaper back in 1888 was, it will be best to deposit your front gates in the cellar if you want to save time and trouble the following morning. Also take the chain off the dog and lock it around the buggy wheels. The chain, not the dog. And for your neighbor's sake, put your turnips and cabbages where the small boys can't get them. Be wise and prepare against the evil day. And then the newspaper editor, however, did say, to the grown-up person, this Halloween custom, is a vicious one, but it was inaugurated by our forefathers, and in respect to their memory, we say, let her go. Here's what a typical well-dressed doctor or physician looked like back in 1864. Notice the fancy three-piece suit and long coat, special hat. And back in those days, there really wasn't any medicine yet, and there wasn't really a whole lot a doctor could do for you, but they wanted to inspire confidence in their patients. And what better way or only way to inspire confidence is to be a really good dresser. Here's a reference sources for some of the history of the Fairbury area. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there were three major encyclopedias. 1878 was the first one, and then there was a 1888 Portraits and Biographies book, and then in 1909, particularly the second edition, covers the Fairbury area. Those three have a lot of the history back from 1878 up to 1909. There's also a World War I book which lists a little bio of everyone who served in World War I. That World War I book was actually printed by the Pantograph. The Chatsworth Train Wreck is another book done by Mrs. Stoutenmeyer from Chatsworth. That book is still available, or you may be able to check one out from the library. Many of these encyclopedias, history books, have been digitized, and you can search them. They're PDF files. They are searchable. At the speech for the museum, I wanted to make sure that people that attended were aware of the Fairbury History Facebook page. To get on this page, someone has to invite you. So if you know someone that's already a member, they can send you an invitation either through Facebook or by an email. This was started about December 1, and it's been around now for over a year. Some of my thoughts after doing a lot of historical research on the Fairbury area: there's lots of printed material from 1878 to 1922, and a lot of these history books were written and they had the stated goal to capture history from the early pioneers of the area before they passed away. There's not much printed material from 1922 up to the internet starting in 1994. The only World War II material I'm aware of is the one book which has biographies of everybody who served. I'm guessing in the Great Depression there was no encyclopedias made because nobody could afford to buy them. Everybody was so poor in the Great Depression. The digitized old books make history easy and fun, and it's also very easy to search by word in those files. Interesting question: will the digital files last as long as these paper encyclopedias? I have some perfectly preserved photographs taken in 1890 that are still good after 125 years. I have seen another one that's 150 years old photograph and it's still in good shape. I'd recommend capturing history, your own personal family history, in both paper and digital form. If you enjoy history, I would encourage you to check out the Fairbury Echoes Museum. It's on Main Street across from Steininger Tire. The displays are rotated a couple times a year. There are many history books there, and there's also the same map that I showed of the country schools is there as well. And my email is given at the bottom. This is the last slide of the presentation where I took questions from the audience. I hope you enjoyed this lecture on Fairbury history. Thank you very much.